Today's GGB podcast is sponsored by Coin. Built for how guests move, Coin keeps payments in the background so the experience stays front and center. Learn more at coinpayments.com.
Welcome to the Global Gaming and Business Podcast. My guest today is Sue Kim, the chairman of Bally's Corporation. Sue, thanks for taking the time to join us.
Roger, it was a pleasure.
I know you got a hard stop here, so we're going to do a lightning round.
Lightning round.
So, since the last time we talked, which was less than 2 years ago, Bally's has exploded. I mean, you were
in a good way. In a good way.
In a good way, right? You got the Chicago underway.
We had that before, but we're almost done.
Yeah. I don't think you had even been selected at that point.
2 years ago?
Yeah.
I always thought we would have been, actually. It was 2 years ago. Maybe it was longer than that.
Right. And then, of course, you were a surprise winner in New York. I mean, nobody had you on their trifecta.
I mean, again, we don't. It's not how you start; it's how you finish, right?
Right. Exactly. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So let's start with Chicago. That is supposed to open in next year.
Yes, early next year.
Yeah.
And we are excited. We're 12 months in. We're less than 12 months at this point. And the topping out ceremony, actually, we're still, about to finish up the topping out in 2 weeks in Chicago, April 30th. So. Or 29th. Look, it's going to be fantastic. It's transformative for Bally, obviously. Bally's has continued to build on strength. So obviously New York, Australia, we continue to do more. But Chicago is still, the next very important step for us, critical step for us, and we're excited to take it. So what a fantastic market.
In the meantime, however, they're talking about putting the slot parlors in Chicago, which you didn't envision that when you got the license.
And our host community agreement, explicitly prohibits it. So we'd have to, figure out what would happen in that situation. Look, I think there are lots of solutions to that problem. And look, we're here to work on our public-private partnership. Obviously, we've put in a reasonable capital into the city, and we intend to put more, and we're going to make a big dent and a difference. Jobs, real estate tax base, and actually direct gaming revenue. So, much more than the route operators are promised. So, I think that there are solutions there.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, let's move quickly to New York. You won that at the end of last year, and congratulations on that. I mean, it's what you have planned there is real interesting. I think the last time we met, you said it's the closest casino to Chinatown. Getting on the subway, right?
It can be depending on how you get there.
Right.
But look, but more important. It's beyond just one neighborhood in New York. You're talking about 16 million people within a 30-something mile or 16-minute drive time, there's just nothing like it, because remember, there's been gaming all over the Northeast, but actually there's just an air pocket around New York City, right? Because not to Atlantic City, Eastern Connecticut, Bethlehem, like upstate New York, you have an air pocket, and so the three operators with the racinos, I don't know, it would be like 30,000 positions, operating at a reasonable tax rate for a population at large. It's going to be, that's the reason why every gaming company showed up to the race. And look, we were, honored to be selected as one of the final three, and we intend to do a great job, and I think it's going to make a hell of a difference in the Bronx. And I grew up in New York, so it has a little bit more poignancy for me, but it's important for Bally's. Again, there's nothing more important than Chicago for Bally's,
right?
But that nothing also might be New York.
Yeah. Well, New York is, as you mentioned, that population, but you're competing now against Aqueduct, Resorts World New York, which they're already up and running as a class 3 casino, and then of course the what the Hard Rock is planning next to the Met Stadium is pretty impressive. So how do you plan to compete with the two of them?
Well, I think we're going to build right to that market. I love our bid. I think we bid the right project. I think the other projects are bigger and more complex, and so harder to pull off. So we can build upon what we've learned and what we're building in Chicago to build something a little larger in New York. I think we're going to move quickly. I think we're going to move accurately. And look, I don't think of it as competition. I think of it as now we have 3 operators working together in a great city, in a great market, and we're not that worried about it.
Right. Okay. So let's move to Las Vegas. I was in Mandalay Bay the other day. I was able to look down on the stadium project.
It's fantastic.
And it's going up very quickly.
Yeah, I can't believe how many doubters there were.
There are so many,
And
it'll never happen.
Yeah, I found it so amusing with absolute certainty that the owner of the A's, who was a close friend of mine, couldn't pull it off.
Right.
I laugh.
Yeah.
And I'm not a betting man, but if I were, it'd be an easy bet to lay. Look, that baseball is being played in April 28th. I don't believe that we will finish our resort by then. But we'll be ready with our parts that we do in terms of connecting the site and building some level of development that will start to capture the energy and build to the energy of the stadium. We have some exciting announcements on that on the way. And look, we're, how do you eat an elephant? How do you eat an elephant? Well, one bite at a time. And so, Vegas is our elephant. It's an incredibly important market. We need to treat it with care, but it's a big one. Right?
Yeah.
And look, we are not in a position to go spend $5 or $6 billion one shot. And even if we had it in our pockets, I'm not sure we would.
Yeah.
So, as you know, I am the person, the executive that has made a living on picking up after other mistakes, and so we don't tend to make them ourselves.
Sure.
And so I think we'll move cautiously. But we'll move definitively, and we're excited for what's going to come. It's going to be amazing. And again, yet another way Vegas reinvents itself. It's an amazing city.
Yeah. So are you going to focus on the parking garages first, or the baseball?
The concourse parking, and also the RED.
Yeah.
I think that the retail, restaurants, entertainment around the stadium, just a great business, and a relatively easy business, and so we're going to focus on that, execute that, at least part of that, and keep going from there.
So you want the baseball experience to kind of mirror what's going to happen when you open the full project?
Well, look, I think that we have plans to make sure that our integrated resort is absolutely integrated to the stadium. So maybe we'll leave it at that, because obviously we're not ready to talk about the full plans, but we're planning for the future.
Okay. I kind of like what Fisher's doing with the team. I mean, he's signing players to long-term contracts, which he never used to do, and the young players that come up, they're excited.
I find it so amusing that people are doubting him.
Yeah.
He is a great man. He really is. And he tried his darndest to keep this. Remember, his family's from the Bay Area.
Yeah, right.
And they're huge philanthropists. Right. He's given away more money than the team.
Yeah.
Just so you know, in the Bay Area. And the fact that the Bay Area could not get their act together to keep him.
Right, sure.
Was just the most amazing thing that I saw before my very eyes. Yeah. And I think, one region's misfortune is Vegas's gain. Vegas, let me tell you, from everybody in Gibson, Jim Gibson, Steve Hill, all the leaders of Vegas, obviously Lombardo. What a city, what a state that can just lean forward, regardless of political affiliations, into growth and the future. You got to give them credit, because they took a sliver of an opportunity and just took it decisively, convinced John to come, boom.
This episode of the GGB podcast is brought to you by Coin. When payments fade into the background, better experiences come forward. Coin helps operators support how guests naturally move through moments without interruptions or added friction. Secure, flexible, and designed to evolve, Coin integrates into existing environments while helping operators deliver more connected guest experiences. Learn more at coinpayments.com.
Sure, sure. So your regional markets, you're in how many casinos do you have outside of there? I mean,
we have 19 casinos in total now. We have one in the UK, not including the one in the UK in Newcastle, so it's, I guess, 20. We effectively control the Star, which is a separate public company, which we are the largest shareholder of, and I'm the chairman of. And the Star currently owns 2 and operates 1.
Right.
And so, look, it's not lost upon me, but we're also developing 3 of the most interesting and large integrated resort projects in the country, if not the 3 most important. And so we understand that even though our heritage is mid-market regional gaming, our future is integrated resort in some of the largest cities: New York, Chicago, Sydney, Gold Coast, Brisbane, Las Vegas. So now all of a sudden we've transformed the perception of our company. Look, I keep reminding people, there was a time when Bally's Park Place was the center. There's a boardwalk in Park Place.
That's right. Yeah.
The center of Atlantic City, the center of it all. Still see Joe Namath,
Right.
On commercial TV, and so and we're very proud to restore a great American brand. It started in Chicago, by the way, to its place globally.
Started in Chicago.
Yeah. And so, and obviously, even larger than our casino business is our online game business in the UK, Spain. We have a very large business, they've had some challenges with the increasing tax rate, but I think we'll be able to manage it because we are at scale, and we have some exciting things happening there. So we're going to continue to grow on all fronts. We love gaming on all its fronts, right? So we love physical gaming in regional markets. We love physical gaming in large, integrated markets. We love online gaming, sports, and lotteries also. Don't forget lotteries.
Right.
Our Bally Intralot company is the 3rd large, equipment provider in the lottery space. We were in 8 state lotteries, 23 countries, and growing.
Yeah.
So we're excited about that business as well.
Yeah.
And so we're going to keep going.
Okay. Well, you mentioned Atlantic City. Here we are in Atlantic City.
Yes.
It's where I'm from.
Yeah.
Your casino has not been performing. It's always in the bottom tier of casinos.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Look, some of that is we need to be careful here, right? It's not like when we bought it, we didn't realize, holy cow, Mortimer, they're opening a casino in New York.
Right.
The law was passed prior to, we're already in the 7-year period when the casino was going to come. Right. So it happens to be that we've got one of those licenses, but it doesn't make a difference whether we have the license. From a Atlantic City perspective, that is going to be like a Mack truck hitting a brick wall. A huge number of customers still come from the New York City area.
Sure.
And our table games players, which are no alternatives for that business other than going out to Connecticut or Pennsylvania. So that's just going to revalue this city once again, and it's going to be a step down. And I think there's a chance that GGR might be closer to 1 than 2.
Yeah.
I know it's just above 2 now. So, and so look, we want to survive that.
Right.
The goal for us is to endure. When you have like a storm, you lash yourself to the mast and you endure.
Right.
You hope your boat doesn't hit anything. So I think our boat is light, and can adjust to conditions. We own our land.
Right.
We own our property. So
you don't have any
we don't have a fixed rent problem.
Right.
And there's lots of stable markets where we do. It's a very viable form of financing, but not in a place where we might be seeing a precipitous drop in revenue.
Right.
Then it's not going to work.
Do you think?
So we need these things on purpose. Sorry, Roger.
Sure.
To be prepared for the future. We intend to survive.
Yeah. Do you think there can be a synergistic relationship between your New York property and the Atlantic City property?
Why not? Yeah. I mean, everywhere where the Bally's flag flies, I think I want synergies. Yeah. I want people to appreciate the brand at at the mass tier, at the high tier. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we intend to get there, um, but it's a journey.
Yeah.
It's a journey.
Yeah, no question. Quickly with Australia, Star Entertainment, was kind of not run very well for the last, I guess, 10 years.
Yeah, I think that's an accurate assessment. Yeah. So just looking at the numbers, by the way, objectively, look, operating profits 4 years ago, these are all public numbers.
Yeah,
were 500 million plus. 2 years ago, it was 330 million, and the last reported earnings is basically zero.
Yeah.
I actually have never, and by the way, it's not like there was a competitive opening.
Right, yeah, sure.
So, and by the way, the junkets left in 2018. So what happened to these numbers? Well, look, it's been caretaker management teams.
Right.
Well-meaning, but not, look, obviously, if you say, hey, the business before had too much risk, let's lower risk. Got it, let's do enhanced due diligence on customers. Let's make sure we don't make mistakes on AML and KYC. Got it. We have to do this. By the way, we have to do this, period. We're part of the global financial system.
Sure.
We got to do it. But, I think, like, hey, by the way, no customers is zero risk. So if you're optimizing for no risk, well, then you're going to have no customers. Right. And I know that sounds like a lib, but that's actually what the company was doing and has been doing.
Right.
And I think that what we've injected is like, hey, guys, now you have a stakeholder, an operator that's a stakeholder. And our job is actually to maximize business while minimizing risk. So it's actually, if the prior management team, the two management teams ago, made a mistake of maximizing business at all costs, that was a mistake. Then the last management team said, and the board said, hey, we have to minimize risk. That was a mistake because there's no business.
Yeah.
But guess what? No customers, no risk.
Yeah.
We've accomplished our goal.
Yeah.
No, the balance is, let's get as much business as we can, generate as much revenues, jobs, all the economic activities that a gaming integrated resort in one of the largest and most important cities in the world should do. It's a 6 million person city, and we're the only ones with a casino.
Yeah.
Literally. And it's growing. Australia grows at like mid-single digits. Not like America, it's a flat.
Right, yeah.
So, and you're telling me we can't figure this out?
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to figure it out, Roger.
Yeah.
And we're excited for the challenge. As you know, we love to run into the proverbial smoking buildings and try to preserve life and property. And in this case, we're going to preserve both. But there is a happy balance to getting business, being profit seeking, but with with the check of, hey, we have to make sure we do it responsibly, safely. We do no harms. Create no negative externalities. Possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I know you got a hard break, so I appreciate you coming by
Absolutely.
and sitting down with me. And I want to say I appreciate your accessibility.
I'm always here.
I think I was the first gaming journalist to talk to you when you took over Bally. So
I think you were.
Yeah,
and
on the cover of the magazine. The picture
thank
I
you.
took. So
Thank you for having it's like a Topps baseball card, like
right, exactly.
my rookie year. Look, it's an open door. We operate a public company and we also operate a public-private partnership.
Yeah.
So gaming is a privilege, not a right.
Sure.
We are thankful and happy participants, and we take our job very seriously, and we're excited to continue to see where this road takes us. We believe in gaming everywhere in all its forms, in all its wonderful forms. So it's taken us a lot of places, and
absolutely.
And maybe our ambition is to be from the first, global gaming company.
Yeah.
And we're on our way.
You're definitely on the way.
Thank you.
Oh, great to see you.
Thanks for tuning into the GGB podcast, sponsored by Coin. Designed to integrate with existing operations, Coin helps operators support today's guests and tomorrow's expectations. Visit coinpayments.com to learn more.